the Ontario Clean Energy Benefit, which is a 10% take off the bill. That's a credit that you get on your hydro bill instead of an addition. Brad Dogood, why is this on my hydro bill?
Well, we're asking a lot of Ontarians, and we have been. We've been rebuilding our energy system. As I said, we're moving out of dirty coal to cleaner sources of power. We've reduced the amount of coal by 94%, which means cleaner air, healthier outcomes for ourselves and our kids. We've built this clean energy economy that's second to none. But we've had to make investments to get there. What the Clean Energy Benefit does is it provides this generation, families in Ontario today, with some assistance in getting through these investments. And according to the Ontario Energy Board, it's had the desired effect. Year over year, this year compared to last year, rates have remained flat for families in this province.
Sean?
Listen, the so-called clean energy benefit that they brought out with only under tremendous pressure from the opposition with respect to the cost of power that families were absolutely screaming about. This is a temporary measure. We're talking about real relief for Ontario families, and that is removing the HST from their hydro bills. We'll get to that.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, and the clean energy benefit. Absolutely, we've said we're going to. Our relief will be on top of whatever is in place today, counter to what the Liberals have been trying to say. But let's go back to the to the benefit, which has been in place since January. And they're still advertising, spending millions and millions of dollars advertising it on television, which is a disgrace. And actually, it's part of their platform. I mean,
it's supposed to last for another 5 years.
Yeah, but this would have to be the first retro. It's already in place. People know it's 5 years. This is the first retro platform in history.
Let me go to Peter Tabuns. What do you think of the Clean Energy Benefit?
Well, I think it was a measure brought in to get Liberals through this election. Right. They looked at the impact that their policies were having. They looked at how people were reacting to the HST on their bills and thought, we are in deep political trouble. We better act. That's what this is about.
Do you like it?
Support it?
We're going to say that people needed relief from the HST. We didn't agree with the HST in the first place. We would continue it on until it's done, and then from that point, we'd have the HST taken off the bills.
Steve Dick, Ontario Clean Energy Benefit. What do you think of it?
It's going to cost the Ontario taxpayer $1.2 billion per year to have this benefit, and is the most backwards thing that we can do to an electrical bill.
How come?
Because people who use the most energy benefit the most. The more you waste, the least efficient you are, the bigger benefit you get out of it. What we need to do is we need to invest in energy efficiency and conservation, so we don't have to build another nuclear power plant, because that's where we're headed.
Let me just be clear about this, Minister. This province, which is running a $16 billion deficit already, is going to go to the markets and borrow another $1.2 billion to give back to energy users. And if Steve is correct, the biggest energy hogs are going to get the best benefit. Does that make sense?
Well, what makes sense is the fact that we're making some very significant. Well, what makes sense is the fact that we're making a very big investment in transforming our energy system. And this generation's been called upon. We have a responsibility to build that stronger, cleaner, modern energy system to pass on to our kids.
Okay, but you'll admit
that's a lot to ask of Ontario families.
But you'll acknowledge we're borrowing north of $1 billion in order to give people a break on their hydro bills.
That's to provide families at this point in time with a break as we move through this period of investment.
Okay. Steve Applin?
I don't know if we're borrowing $1 billion off the hydro bill. We're just taking a little bit, we're paying a little bit back off the global adjustment, which doesn't appear on the hydro bill, but it's included in the electricity charge. The global adjustment is what drove people crazy when they started going through spreadsheets at the end of 2010 and started realizing how much we're paying for.
That's your FIT program.
That's how much we're paying for the FIT program.
No, that's not the FIT program. No, that's compensating private power producers' gas plants.
It is when the price of the market. The OPA, which is the biggest
it's gone out of control since the FIT program.
One of you at a time. Steve, finish your thought.
The biggest part of the global adjustment is the OPA portion, and that is the FIT program.
FIT program.
And so when people started,
people have to recognize that this system is allowing private energy traders to sell power to the United States and Quebec at far lower prices than we pay here in Ontario, and subsidizes those.
That's wind power.
Toronto Star reported that we were spending $200 million a year, we, the ratepayers, to subsidize those energy traders.
Because of the wind contract, Peter.
It is not. It is
absolutely
overbuilding of nuclear power and of the gas power.
We're buying wind power. We're paying wind power generators 13.5 cents a kilowatt hour in the middle of the night when we don't need the power.
Okay.
We're dumping it to Quebec Hydro. Quebec Hydro's wheeling it into New England.
Right. Let me jump in here, because I know if I understand this properly, you brought in the clean energy benefit. You're going to keep it. You're going to keep it. You don't like it at all. Just so we're on the record here. We got all that figured out.
I don't have